Reading Library of Congress call numbers. Let's look at the parts of the call number first. Those first two lines are the subject. The broadest subjects in Library of Congress are represented with letters. Here, P is the class and S is the subclass. So the P's are literature books, PS is American literature. The 3561 that follows further refines the subject. This first number line is read as a whole number. Everything after it, with the exception of the date at the end, will be read as a decimal. Next we have the cutter numbers. These further narrow books down by title or author. Each cutter number is written as a letter followed by a number. That's how I know this line says I-483 and not 1483. The first cutter number has a decimal in front of it, the second does not. This is just the way they're formatted. Both numbers are read as decimals. Note that while all books have at least one cutter number, some only have one. Finally, there might be additional information, such as the date or volume number. All of our books currently have dates on them, but this isn't required. Only some of our books have volume numbers. Since Library of Congress uses both decimals and whole numbers, let's pause for a brief math refresher. The more zeros you add to the end of a whole number, the bigger it gets, so 10 is less than 100, which is less than 1,000. With decimals, adding zeros to the end doesn't change the value of the number at all. So 0.1 is equal to 0.10, which is the same thing as 0.100. So when putting decimal numbers in order, don't be fooled by length. Instead, read the number from left to right, starting at the decimal point. If it helps, you can add zeros to the end of each number so they're all the same length. For example, 0.2 is less than 0.234, which is less than 0.35, and if that's confusing, 0.200 is less than 0.234 is less than 0.350. Why does this matter? Again, LCC call numbers contain both whole numbers and decimals, so it's important to shelve whole numbers like whole numbers and decimal numbers like decimal numbers. Otherwise, books can get pretty misshelved. Let's look at some examples. To put books in call number order, I'm going to start with the top line and work my way down. For the books to be in call number order, the numbers need to go smallest to largest, left to right. These books are all PS's except for this one, which is a PL. L comes before S, so we're going to put this book first. Now moving down to the second line, and remember that what we have here is a whole number. So 120 is way less than 1001. PS 120 comes before the other four. The other four have really similar subject numbers, but this last one has a decimal, so it will come last. Now we'll look at the cutter numbers, and it's all decimals from here on down. That means that point J8 can also be read as point J80. It's greater than the point J72s, so we'll move it to the end. Now these two books haven't diverged yet, so we'll need to move on to the next line. This one has a second cutter number, this one does not. Nothing is less than something, so we'll put the one with only one cutter number first, and the one with the second cutter number towards the right. At this point, these books are all sorted, so we don't even have to worry about the dates. In many cases, you will not have to go all the way through the call number to figure out which book comes first. Just start at the top and work your way down.